Good morning, grade 5 pupils. Here comes your teacher Min again, guiding you with your lesson at home. So kahit wala si nanay, si tatay, si ate o si kuya, you will easily understand your lesson with me. So, get your module in Science 5, Quarter 3, Week 1. Let's explore the motion of an object. Here are the keywords and phrases that you will encounter for today's lesson. First is motion. Second, reference point or starting point. Third, force. And fourth, change in object's position. These are very important, so take note of this. Okay, so this is now the module in Science 5 Week 1, describing the motion of an object. In this module, you are going to focus on the most essential learning competency. So dapat ito ang inyong malalaman. Okay? Describe the motion of an object by tracing and measuring its change in position, distance traveled over a period of time. And we have 5 objectives. First, describe how motion takes place. Second, classify activities that involve motion. And third, identify what causes motion of an object. Fourth, cite the reference point and its importance in determining motion of an object. And the last, value the impact of motion in our lives. So, kailangan natin itong ma-achieve mga bata. Since this is a 1-week lesson, so we are going to explore this 1-week module. Now, let us try to read the meaning of the motion. It seems that everything is moving. From the time you wake up until you go to sleep. All of our activities involve movement. So we have to move in order to complete our task. Motion will always be a part of our daily life. How can you tell if someone is in motion? Motion may be defined as change of an object's position as caused by force. Always remember this. Motion may be defined as change of an object's position as caused by force. When there is movement, there is motion. There can be no motion without a force or a set of forces. Forces, therefore, initiate and influence motion. Motion is a movement of objects from one location to another. Whenever anything moves from one location to another, motion is involved. Even when something moves in a circle or a cycle and comes back to where it started, there is motion. Because the object moves to intermediate points before returning to its starting points or starting position. Motion always occurs along a continuous path. Continuous means that there are no gaps. Moving objects don't jump from one place to another without traveling through all of the intermediate points. Motion always takes time, no matter how fast an object moves. It takes some time to travel from one location to another. Example is a passenger in a moving car. Passengers inside the car do not consider themselves moving because they are just sitting in the car. However, the people standing outside consider them moving because the car is changing its position from one point to another point. By definition, motion is change in position with respect to a reference point. We have here a pile of books and the pen holder and the ball pens. Okay? So, if hindi ko siya gagalawin, hindi ko siya a-applyan ng force, so walang mangyayari sa kanya. Now, when I apply a force on it, like this, so there is a change of object's position from the reference point pile of books. Now, my question is there motion occurs in the pen holder? Yes, very good. There is motion occurs in this pen holder because of the force. Because of the force that I applied to the pen holder. So, it is moving and there is movement happens in the pen holder from the reference point pile of books. Another question is there motion occurs in the pens if the reference point is the pen holder? Correct. There's no motion occurs in the pen because they are just in the pen holder. Kung baga, there's no distance traveled by the pens from the pen holder. Hindi siya naalis sa pen holder. So if that's so, there's no motion or movement on that object. Kahit ibalik mo pa siya sa pile of books, hanggat andyan siya sa pen holder, kasi yung pen holder ang ating reference point. Is it clear? Very good. But if I applied force to the pens and I put it here, then there is motion occurs in the pens if the reference point is the pen holder. So in activity number 1, you are going to classify each activity inside the box, whether it involves motion or not. So write it in an appropriate column. You are going to classify these activities and put your answers here. After that, you are going to answer the guide question. What is the importance of motion in our daily activities? In activity 2, you are going to draw an object that is moving from a reference point and label it. So you are going to draw, or you can draw an object on your notebook. Then answer the guide questions. Number 1, how does motion takes place in your illustration? So in activity 4, you are going to check if the situation shows motion and cross mark if not. Then you are going to answer also the guide question. What causes motion? In letter B, you are going to identify the reference point that determines the presence of motion in the pictures below. In activity number 5, so you are going to enumerate. So you are going to list down 5 activities that you do at home which involves motion. Write down your answers on your notebook. Then answer the guide question. For the reflection, you are going to write your realization after learning about motion of an object. Speaking of answer keys, it is really important in a module because it is a self-learning module. It means a child can assess his or her learning even without his or her parents. Then he can check his or her works if it is correct or not. And it is not provided just to copy nor rely always on it every time they're answering the module. It is just a guide. Very good, kids! I hope that you've learned a lot from our lesson in Science 5, Quarter 3, Week 1 about describing the motion of an object. So, see you in our next video.